Have you ever wondered how Scar from The Lion King got his distinctive scar? Join me as we explore the fascinating backstory of this iconic Disney villain. Scar is widely regarded as one of the most iconic Disney villains of all time, known for his cunning and ruthless pursuit of power in the Pride Lands. He is willing to go to any lengths to secure his position as king, even if it means harming his own family. But like many other classic Disney villains, there is more to Scar than just his villainous deeds, and his deeds are certainly villainous. His complex history and motivations make him a captivating character, adding depth and intrigue to his character beyond his evil acts. Now let's explore the fascinating backstory of Scar, the iconic Disney villain. What can we learn about Scar's past? Scar is the main antagonist of the beloved 1994 Disney film The Lion King, as well as its 2019 remake and the Broadway musical. He has also appeared in various sequels and spin-offs. Scar is notorious for his sinister actions, including the murder of his own brother Mufasa, in his relentless pursuit of power in the Pride Lands. But was he always so nefarious? Was there a time when he was just a cub with innocent intentions? Let's dive into Scar's past and find out. It's worth mentioning that Scar's name wasn't always what it is now. His original name varies depending on which origin story you choose to follow. There are two officially recognized backstories for Scar, one from the 1994 book A Tale of Two Brothers by Alex Simmons, and the other from the Lion Guard franchise, which includes a movie and a TV series that aired on Disney Junior from 2016 to 2019. Let's explore the first backstory from A Tale of Two Brothers. Scar's early life according to A Tale of Two Brothers. Scar was born to Ahadi and Uru, and was given the name Taka, which in Swahili means garbage or trash. While the name may sound pretty, the meaning is far from it. This unfavorable name may have contributed to Taka's already present chip on his shoulder, which only grew larger when he found out that his brother Mufasa was chosen to rule the Pride Lands instead of him. This turn of events led Taka to befriend the hyenas Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed, who convinced him to set Mufasa up for failure in order to advance his own position in the line of succession. However, this decision would come back to haunt Taka in a big way, setting him on a path towards becoming Scar. Moving on to the second backstory from the Lion Guard, Scar's origins are presented in a much kinder light. He shares the name Ascari with a noble lion ancestor who led the Lion Guard in protecting the Pride Lands and the Circle of Life. Unlike in the previous origin story, Ascari is not seen as disposable simply because he is the second-born child of the king. Instead, he is given the prestigious responsibility of leading the Lion Guard and defending the Pride Lands. To aid him in his duties, Ascari is granted a powerful gift, the Roar of the Elders, which amplifies his roar with the roars of the great lions of the past. Unfortunately, Ascari is unable to handle the immense power and responsibility of this gift, and is tempted by another lion to covet Mufasa's position as rightful king. This desire leads Ascari into a dangerous trap that will ultimately alter his fate and shape the future of the Pride Lands. The question of how Scar got his iconic scar is also answered differently in each backstory. How Scar got his scar in A Tale of Two Brothers. In the first origin story, Taka's hyena companions convince him to goad Mufasa into a fight with Boma, a powerful Cape buffalo who controls a vital waterhole. When Taka's plan to turn Mufasa and Boma against each other backfires, Boma and his herd turn their attention to Taka instead. In the ensuing struggle, Taka is attacked by Boma and receives a severe wound across his eye. Mufasa attempts to rescue his brother, but his efforts fall short, and King Ahadi ultimately has to intervene to save Taka. However, the damage inflicted during the encounter is not just physical, but also psychological, and will ultimately shape Taka's path to becoming Scar. In the second origin story from the Lion Guard, Ascari is lured into a trap by a mysterious lion and attacked by a cobra, which bites him on the eye, leaving the scar that would come to define him. But the effects of the cobra's venom go beyond the physical injury, causing Ascari to become more cruel and bitter, leading him to contemplate using the Roar of the Elders to overthrow his brother. In the 2019 CGI live-action remake of The Lion King, yet another version of Scar's backstory is presented, implying that his scar was a result of a conflict with Mufasa. The origin story of Scar in the Lion Guard franchise is first introduced in the 2015 Disney Channel movie The Lion Guard: Return of the Roar, and is further expanded upon in the two-part premiere episode Battle for the Pride Lands of the show's third season. In this version of events, Scar, under the influence of the Cobra's venom, attempts to persuade the Lion Guard to help him overthrow Mufasa. When they refuse, he turns his roar against them, ultimately destroying the Lion Guard and cementing his descent into villainy. In response to Scar's misuse of the roar, the great lions of the past take away his power, leaving him feeling resentful and vengeful. These events set the stage for the storyline of the Lion King, and the show continues to follow the story after Scar's defeat, with Simba and Nala preparing their son Kion to take over the leadership of the Pride Lands. Even though Scar is no longer alive, his malevolent influence persists, and in the show's second season, he is brought back in a different form as a fiery spirit within a volcano. The resurrected Scar gathers an army of followers, known as the Army of Scar, with the goal of retaking the Pride Lands from Simba's control. They are challenged by the newly reformed Lion Guard, led by Kion, who possesses the same power that Scar once did, the Roar of the Elders. In the epic battle that ensues in Battle for the Pride Lands, Scar instructs a cobra named Ushari to attack Kion, leaving him with a scar similar to Scar's own. In a moment of forgiveness, Kion channels the Roar of the Elders to vanquish Scar for good, bringing an end to his reign of terror once and for all. Even in his final moments, Scar attempts to sow discord, telling Kion that the power he used to defeat him is actually a curse. Kion, determined to rid himself of any corruption, sets out on a journey to the Tree of Life in the hope of finding a cure for the venom that poisoned his great-uncle and caused him to become corrupt. This quest becomes the central focus of the remaining episodes, with Kion seeking redemption and a way to truly leave Scar's legacy behind. Despite the varying accounts of how Scar came to be the villain we know him as, one thing remains constant across all versions of the story: his ultimate fate. In the original The Lion King story, Scar's villainy reaches its peak when he orchestrates the death of his brother Mufasa and tricks Simba into believing he is responsible, causing Simba to flee. Scar then seizes control of the Pride Lands as the illegitimate king. Years pass, during which Scar and the hyenas decimate the Pride Lands. Simba eventually returns with his allies Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa, ready to confront his uncle and reclaim his rightful place as king. Scar, unable to deny his actions any longer, confesses his guilt to Simba, setting the stage for a final showdown for the throne. The climactic battle on Pride Rock arrives, with Scar desperately trying to shift the blame for his actions onto his hyena cohorts, Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. Simba emerges victorious and corners Scar, but the tables quickly turn when Scar's former allies, enraged by his betrayal, turn on him. Scar's reign of terror comes to a brutal end as he is defeated by Simba and ultimately meets his demise at the hands or rather jaws of the very hyenas he once manipulated. A poetic justice for a character who was willing to do anything for power. And that's it for today's video about Scar's backstory. He's a pretty complicated character, but I hope you enjoyed learning about him. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel, it would mean a lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.